Hello everyone, welcome to Indian Economy by Aman Soni. In today's news hour, we will be discussing the articles related to economy from the Hindu newspaper. In page 1, there is no news related to economy. Same with the editorial page. Here, this article talks about how the changes about the global events would affect the Indian economy directly. In the previous news hours, we have discussed that various things are currently happening at the stage which would have an impact directly on the Indian economy. Because of the Russian-Ukraine conflict, the financial markets have turned extremely volatile. And on the other side, the federal bank, it was tapering with its interest rates and the yields were fluctuating, because of which the foreign portfolio investors moved from India. This we discussed in the yesterday's news. And we also discussed that if the foreign portfolio investors go out of India, the demand for the US dollars would increase, because they are converting the Indian money to US dollar. So because of which the value of rupee would fall against the US dollar. And today here we can see this headline that rupee slips on oil to 11-week past the dollar rate. The oil trade is also affecting rupee, because if the price of the oil increases in terms of dollar, we need more dollars to pay for the oil. And again, if the demand for dollar increases as against the rupee supply, as against the dollar, the value of rupee against the dollar would fall. And this is about the news item. And apart from the current Ukraine and Russian conflict, we also have issue like the pandemic that we just came out of, and the Russian banks being removed out of the SWIFT payment system, SWIFT messaging system, so that they would not be able to take the payments and deliver the payments. And this has affected directly our exporters and the importers. The amount that we are supposed to receive on our exports, we are not getting that amount. On the other hand, our importers have to make payments to the Russian suppliers. So Indian banks are also in a bad position, because of which yesterday the government was saying that it would give a bank guarantee to the credit line and soft loans to the exporters. Soft loans are those loans which are provided at a softer terms, meaning either the interest rate would be very less or zero, or the repayment period would be high, whichever helps the borrower of the loan to take more freedom in paying back the loan, which would help him positively. Those are the soft loans. And the RBI governor also says that because of the high inflation that is happening in the global economy, and the supply chain disruptions and disruptions in the labor market because of the pandemic, at the same time the supply chain and the inventory management getting disrupted, all these are happening at the same time. Now the central banks of all the countries are in a dilemma. They are in a catch-22 situation, because now if the central bank thinks that the inflation is going to be high, and if they act too fast and they try to control the inflation, it may be a problem in the future, because it might lead to a recession. If the real inflation in the economy is not that genuine and the central bank takes steps which are early, it will lead to recession in the future. But at the same time, if the central bank doesn't take steps to control inflation now, if it goes for growth mindset for some more time, and if the inflation keeps increasing too much, then the central bank would have to do the catch up. It would be left behind the curve where the inflation is too much and it is too late to control. So all the central banks currently are in a catch-22 situation. So they have to think and take the steps. In the previous articles, we have also discussed about how the current conflict between Russia and Ukraine would directly affect the chip supply and the increase in the chip shortage. Because we discussed that Russia controls almost 44% of the global supplies of the palladium, and Ukraine produces almost 70% of the neon supplies, both of which are key raw materials in making of the chips. Because of the shortage of chips, there would be an impact on the electronic and communication technology equipments, and the impact would also be felt on the automobiles which use the chips for manufacturing. Again, here you just need to read the headlines, need not go into the details because the articles are not very important, and the headlines are itself explanatory. The steel prices rise as warrants the supply chains. It is obvious because the supply has reduced, the prices are going to rise. Again, discussion about the data protection bill, and the third party premium of the insurance is going to rise because if the risk is going to rise for the insurance company, then the insurance company charges a higher premium for the customers. So because of which the third party premium is going to be raised. Again, here the headlines are important, need not go into the details of it. These are the articles related to economy today. Thank you so much.